Okay, another lightning strikes twice. Let's go. Super fast.
Super fast.
One topic apiece, 5 minutes. Go.
Oh, whoa. We're not even going to say who we are.
Fuck that.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll get right into it then. So, 5 minute timers queued up, and it's me. And my topic, I don't know what it would fit into, but it's irrelevant. 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 Um, it's that's not my topic, by the way. The so
Inconceivable.
yeah. So okay, here we go. What do you think about year-round school, like public school?
Um, well, I'm kind of seeing it in action in Germany with my stepdaughter. Like it, they get so many breaks and like a fairly long, like a 6 week break in summer, but
Huh.
it still is technically kind of, I would consider it year round because there's really only like one full month that you're gone, and that's like once a year. So
Mhm.
I don't know, like whether or not it helps the learning process, though, I don't know because a long break is a long break, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I mean, it is nice, I think, to have a summer break so that you can like do your vacation stuff with family, that kind of thing. That's pretty important, and have enough time for that to be possible. But I'm actually in favor of something more like that. Like, definitely taking a break from school helps, but that long of a break, like the entire summer off, you come back to school feeling like you're starting all over again.
mm,
Like that's a very, very long time. Imagine taking, 3 months off from work, right?
yeah,
Like, I think it would be cool, like maybe have like a month in summer and a month in winter, like around Christmas time, like encompassing the new year and all that. Um, that might be good. It does, you know, here's the problem though, too. It's like working families, if the kids are off for a long time and they're not off at the same time, then they're gonna have to pay for uh to have their kids looked after in some way,
mm,
childcare of some sort, like, and that's expensive. Like, I mean, yeah, it's like school. We shouldn't look at school as being like a daycare service, but in a way it is. And since we're paying for it anyway, like, I think it benefits working families to have
yeah,
their kids not, you know, have their kids going to school basically every day, with the odd few days off. Because I mean, I think it's you can swallow having a kid getting daycare for like a week or something like that. That's not really that big of a deal. But, you know 3 months.
yeah,
And I think from an academic standpoint too, like you kind of lose. Well, I mean, public school, at least in the US, is kind of shite anyway. But you do kind of lose momentum your learning momentum if you're away from it for that long.
yeah. And I mean, it's totally possible to do like little mini reviews and stuff at the beginning of the year, just like kind of bring it to the surface a little bit, which does work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, what you're saying also makes sense. Like if it's not so far out of your memory, you don't have to necessarily spend time doing that. But I mean, I still think it's a good idea to do that just because everybody's brain works a little different. So
Yeah, that's true.
um,
Definitely.
you kind of want to try to cater to the lowest common denominator, I guess.
Sure.
And not
Well,
not in a negative way. I mean, but like like the person that forgets the easiest,
mhm.
let's make sure that they're lifted up too, and everyone else will only benefit from it.
True, true. Yeah. Well, and the brain is basically like a muscle that you're at, when you're like with physical fitness, right? If you need to take a break, but you shouldn't take a break that's so long that you start to atrophy essentially and go back to the way that you were. You need to keep working at it. to build up your fitness. And so it's like breaks are important, but they should be relatively short and frequent. I'd rather have more frequent breaks
Mhm.
that are short than one long break and then hardly anything in between. It'd be nice to have like, oh, here just get a day off randomly here and there. Obviously, like working with parents and things, and maybe even the school could still be open and do like some kind of extended schooling, so it's optional. Like if the parents can't afford daycare, then the kid can still go to school and do some like reading stuff or something, whatever, just to kind of keep them busy. um, that would be
Yeah.
good.
Or just have like all the physical education be like during those breaks or something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's time.
Because who wants to get sweaty and then go to math?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. That's a good opportunity for that. It's a good point. Well, I guess just to kind of follow up with what I was saying, it's like maybe the vacations, so that the kids who don't, their parents can't afford daycare or can't take the time off or something, the classes they take could be kind of fun. So it's like they don't feel like they're getting the ass end of, like, oh, all these other kids with their parents have money, you know, like maybe it's something special that like it's a fun thing. Could be kind of neat. So like everybody kind of wins. Like you have an option to not go to school during those times, but also if you do go to school, it's kind of a special fun thing that makes you feel like you're getting a treat.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to, I guess this one's kind of religious in nature.
Okay.
Uh, should there be an age of consent for teaching children about religion?
Huh.
More education topics here.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's kind of weird how that worked out. We didn't know what each other's were in advance here. Um, like, well, I guess it depends. I mean, I think maybe religion should be taught, but it should be more like all encompassing, kind of more like these are the religions that people practice in the world. I don't like the idea of kind of honing in on one particular religion and talking about it. But I think it obviously is part of humanity that religions are out there and people consider them, they take them pretty seriously. So it's like I think it's an important thing to teach kids, especially because
Yeah.
it could help make for a little more understanding for between different religions or non-religious people, so that they're a little more accepting, if they understand a little bit about it. I
I
don't.
think that is the right approach, but I also think that there should be a an age which before that you really don't even broach the subject. Um, but I don't know, whatever age it is, let's say like 10 or something,
Yeah.
then you start introducing like all the religions of the world and just in just kind of like a matter of fact
Mm-hmm.
statement, sort of like this is what these people believe, this is what that those people believe, and and you don't have so much like risk of indoctrination then.
Mm-hmm.
Albeit, how then would you handle private schools like Catholic schools, for instance, where right from before they can basically talk, their entire like education system is kind of orbiting religion.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I believe that, like, say, churches and stuff should be able to have schooling, but I mean, it would be nice if they had a little more broad education. Because I mean, it only would benefit everybody, really. If you had a Catholic school, they should be teaching about other religions in a sort of neutral context, like, oh, this is, people who follow Islam or something like that. This is what they believe. And that way it's like, oh, you can get along better. And if you're interested in trying to, say, convince others that your view is correct, it's very important to know a lot about the others you're talking to. You don't want to come in completely ignorant and just full of yourself, like, yeah, why my religion is the best, but I don't know anything about your religion, but you need to change to my view. See, that doesn't help anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of how it is, honestly.
I feel the same way about politics because
Hmm.
religion and politics are almost indistinguishable, but
Yeah.
it's ridiculous to like tell your kid, oh, our family is Republican or our family are libertarians or something. Like you can't just brand your child with a philosophy.
No.
Like that's something that only an individual can choose for themselves.
Well, and really, your spiritual beliefs or your political beliefs ought to be something that's molded from your experiences, and not like you come out of the gate essentially with this like assumed doctrine, which
Yeah.
is bullshit. Like, because that actually that's harmful, because it's like, how many people, like you and I are both, well, like agnostic atheist kind of, and like how long did it take to kind of undo all of that programming, um when, like, I probably would be who I am today if, like, I would arrive at this conclusion where I am, all without all that extra labor of trying to or deprogram.
Yeah.
you know but I think yeah, you're right. Like, it should, a kid should have kind of a little bit of a sense of a lot of things and critical thinking skills before they're introduced to any kind of religious philosophies and stuff,
Yeah.
because they do tend to grab a hold of people. um, so it's good that you have a little bit of common sense before you're introduced to all those things.
Yeah. And speaking from personal experience, like I I fully embraced Catholicism because I just grew up that way and I thought that was right because I was told it was right. And that's not a good kind of way to like latch onto an ideology is, oh,
No.
I was told it was right and that's good enough, And
That's time.
man, that's a
Did
good
you
one.
have because you said, and maybe finish?
Uh, I was going to go on a long
Oh,
diatribe.
oh, well, yet again, another episode
Yeah.
there. Well,
Yeah, that one probably should have been a full episode. Oh, well.
yeah. Well, I think it will be.
We fleshed it out here.
Yeah, yeah. We got the little seeds planted.
Yep.
All right.
So like, share, subscribe, and come back next week for Lightning Strikes Twice. Kaboom, kaboom.
See you later.